him off there. Lermgod finishes off. The Osiris is nearly dead. I think White Ace is the same deal. Yeah, he's there. He stripped him. I think he stripped him, or at least half of him. At least, maybe he's jammed. He must be. Oh, Red goes. Oh, Lizzie just ate a huge strike, and his Haddock and Daenerys are not going to. That shot rolls. The Vid's taken a piece of Lizzie there. Lost all his.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Smoke has a grab counter, but and look at how low Unbearing is.
Super Cherry CT and torso and arm. He ain't going down.
Big pack here from Eon. So obviously they know
like
Eon.
Oh,
Jesus! Can MJ12 pull something off here? Furia finishes off Growler. Honorwolf is about to go down. He's down, yeah. Furia finishes him up as well. Pretty Rex. One touch on the CT there. I think Dario's been legged though. That's bad. Oh, Data just gets CT. 1, 2. Oh.
Yeah, it's got very weak leg.
Jesus. But and that's it for him. Kid 4 is getting murdered by those frickin' streaks, and he's down.
Yeah, White Eyes.
Which are under 50 tons. So he is severely outmatched.
Oh, they've realised he's there now. They should be able to finish him off. Yep, Frio goes down. Yep, now John McFuzzy goes down. RJF are like, well, we got the win. We don't really need it. We got
there we go.
Captain. Yep, they're diving him and he's dead.
Down to 59%.
Oh, taking on Stranger coming.
No one's coming to help him. This little
Doing a Honorwolf doing a fine job.
oh, Draven loses a leg and is down. It's down.
Lost the torso.
This is just a straight up scrum.
Doozle on him. Sinjo in the Night Gyre. Oh, he's legged and going down.
Biscuit the jab. He's gonna.
Honorwolf getting legged. Just Draven Seabiscuit left. Yeah, Phoenix Legion smartly going for legs. Hard legs on everyone.
There right now. Raven Colt just eats a strike.
Say that's finally.
He's even got Fury with the peach in the back. He did a long drop from the heavens. Oh no! Fury's still alive.
There's one torso. Just not
The Wolf goes down. That's it.
Yep, Admiral Korean Jesus standing there on Gamma. Let him chill. Admiral Korean Jesus knows he's got a nice Admiral Korean Jesus taking it from both sides. Bowser on one, Stim on the other. He's getting out of there. He's down to 64. Bowser's he's running around here. He's got Stim chasing him. And down he goes.
% from a single strike. Lermgod pushing in now. Dario gets Terminator. Dario finishing him off there. Lermgod finishes off. The Osiris is nearly dead. I think White Ace is the same deal. Yeah, he's there. He stripped him. I think he stripped him, or at least half of him. At least, maybe he's jammed. He must be. Oh, Red goes. Oh, Lizzie just ate a huge strike, and his Haddock and Daenerys are not going to. That shot rolls. The Vid's taken a piece of Lizzie there. Lost all his.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Smoke has a grab counter, but and look at how low Unbearing is.
Super Cherry CT and torso and arm. He ain't going down.
Big pack here from Eon.
40 seconds.
So obviously they know
like
Eon. Oh, Jesus! Can MJ12 pull something off here? Furia finishes off Growler.
It's like Kraz's team's almost
Honorwolf is about to go
locked up.
down. He's down, yeah. Furia finishes him up as well. Rex.
Go ahead and
One touch on the CT there. I think Dario's been legged though. That's bad.
Or actually don't.
Oh, Data just gets CT. 1, 2. Oh,
Yeah, it's got very weak leg.
Jesus. But and that's it for him. Kid 4 is getting murdered by those frickin' streaks, and he's down.
Yeah, White Eyes.
None of which are under 50 tons. So he is severely outmatched.
Oh, they've realised he's there now. They should be able to finish him off. Yep, Frio
Frio
goes down.
Yep.
Yep, now John McFuzzy goes down. RJF are like, well, we got the win. We don't really need it. We got
There we
the
go.
full cap.
Deserves to Nick.
Yep, they're diving him and he's dead.
Down to 59%.
Oh, taking a stranger coming.
No one's coming to help him. This little
Doing a Honorov doing a fine job.
Draven loses a leg.
All right, hello and welcome to ISC. We are going to be streaming Omen versus Goosey today. The teams are just getting locked up for drop 1. I'm going to kick it over to the tournament page real quick so you guys can kind of see where the standings are at the moment. I'm here today with Lionel Luther. He is this is going to be his first cast. He's co-casting with me. Both of us from GNX. We're going to be hopefully giving you guys a good cast today. JGX and Goosey, what do you know about them, Lionel?
Well, they both had a pretty strong showing in this tournament so far. They're both 3-1 teams, and both games that each team lost was against the other JGX team. So Goosey beat Merc, Aces Wild, and Fraternity 37, and then lost 4-1 versus the other JGX team. And then Black Omen did 5-0 against CXF, then 5-0'd both 2-8 teams. Then they got 5-0'd by the other JGX team. So they're pretty even in standing and in strength, I think. So this will be a very close match.
Give Team 2 5 minutes.
Yep. So give them the 5-minute warning. I think they'll ready up soon, and let's see what this game gives us.
All right, so tonnage for the first drop is 270 with no lock-ons. There's going to be 3 caps. It's going to be, let me cut over the map strat real quick.
Can I have the link?
You should already have it, I thought, but here. Theta, Kappa, and Epsilon are the 3 caps.
So far, based on Team 1, they seem to be locked in Bravo and Charlie, so I expect them to go towards Epsilon and Theta and try to control both points from a center position in either Delta 5, Delta 6. This is a fairly light drop, though, so I expect to see a lot of movement once both teams find each other. So far, it's been medium pulse lasers that have been the name of the game for the first 2 drops. We expect to see a lot of Vulcans, Uziels, anything that can boat 5 or 6 MPLs.
Yeah. Yeah, the fight around Theta is going to be pretty intense. I would imagine that they might use some of the high ground around the initial area, but whoever's going to hold the 2 cap series is really going to have like an advantage on the first little iteration of the fight. Medium pulses are going to get heavy use, but Solaris City is a hot map, so we'll have to see exactly what goes down.
Team 2's locked, so I'll go ahead and start the game. So it'll be fun. I think that Team 2 sees that Team 1's going to go around the right side, so they actually locked in Alpha and Bravo. So that's going to be interesting because they're both going for the same half of the map. So there's going to be a nice strong fight near Epsilon and Theta. Especially for the light drops, avoiding strikes is always going to be very important because a single strike on the team can easily take 20-30% off of a max health.
Yeah, strikes are going to be deadly on this map, especially if we can hit a clustered pool of enemies. or allies, I guess. Hopefully, there's no allies being hit by strikes, but we never know.
Well, whenever the brawl starts, if one stray strike, and that's a decent chunk of team damage right there.
All right, I've got Gudron Synodry dropping at the bottom of the map near Gamma. The Red goes fast, the Phoenix Hawk 2, Lizzie and an Urban Mech K9, Vindicator 1R by Don Chiron, and we have Daddy Cool Uziel 6P, another Uziel 6P from Chrysalius, and Deuce in an Uziel 6P, but he's not moving. That might be bad. What do you got on the first Jaguar Guards?
I'm seeing Uziel 6Ps from Darger and Gogil, seeing a Dervish from Boss, an Urban Mech K9 from Data, a Vulcan from Zioz, and a Phoenix Hawk from Krasnopesky. So fairly similar decks, down to even including the K9 as the one hero mech that they're allowed. Great armor quirks on that, and 5 MPLs.
Both teams aren't really taking a very strong cap advantage right now. Both teams are just kind of like maintaining center position. Epsilon and Kappa are the additional caps to Theta. Nobody's really going for those, but the two teams have spotted each other. We're going to see how this engagement goes. It looks like Kraz is the first one to get spotted by Gudron, and they're fighting now.
So Black Omen's taking a really nice verticality, really making use of having all those jump jets on their mechs, getting up high, trying to get shots down onto Gudron.
Gudron's moving in, taking the Theta cap. They're moving to the left a little bit. Let's see exactly what they decide to do. It looks like Omen is maintaining those top positions. They're not really letting this, bait them out. We'll see exactly how Gudron's able to hold them off once they transition, though.
Black Omen's denying this cap just by shooting the mechs, capping it. Every time one of those mechs gets shot, they can't cap the point for a couple seconds. Nasty strike on the point, hitting 2 of the mechs, both Uziels. They're under 90% now.
Yeah, nobody's really out of it yet, though. There's nobody that's really in the red yet. So as long as these guys can continue to maintain these trade lines, they're going to be able to do really well. Oh, I spoke too soon. One of the Uziels for Black Omen just got down to 65%. Another strike going down on the center where Omen is holding. Gudron's doing a pretty good job cycling armor, so is Omen.
Yeah.
These medium
Lizzie's
pulses
almost
are nasty,
open up.
man. There's so much going on. Oh my god.
Gudron's starting to get a couple orange health mechs, so they're almost open, red on the armor on Chrysalius and Lizzie, but they've rotated out behind a building.
Both teams being really careful. Just, fighting in this pocket, this little tiny space right now. Omen is just having a hard time breaking the Gudron line.
Yeah, the armor rotation that's going on here is very interesting to watch because
they need somebody to flank around and hit the left or right side of Omen to kind of break their line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kraz was doing that a bit earlier, but he got chased off by one of the mechs that came up.
Data is hurt. He's down to 26%. Yeah, 29%. It's not good for him.
Gogil's down at 38 as well.
First kill goes to Krasno from the Phoenix Hawk to the Uziel 6P by Daddy Cool.
So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they can keep that kill lead. I think the next kill is very important for both teams to get. Gogil's flanking around the sides in his Uziel.
Yeah. Zeos is really the only one with, a good amount of armor anymore for Omen. We'll have to see how it plays out.
There goes Boss, killed by Lizzie and the Dervish.
Yep. Oh, Omen is just cleaning him up right now. But now it's time for Gudron to bring it back. There's a couple of kills right there. It's 3-3. Omen is extremely damaged.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes remaining in this first match.
Both teams have mechs that are so low on health that these kills are just going to be based on whether or not you can twist it off or give them an arm or something instead.
I'm wondering if Omen might actually start playing the caps at this point. given what's happening right now and how close the tickets are.
Yeah, looking at data, he has 2 medium pulse left, and he's down. But he was a cherry red in the center torso.
He probably knew he was going to go down, but hopefully he relayed the information to the other 2 survivors right now, to exactly where they're at, what percentages they're at, what's open. So we'll see if that plays to their favor.
Yeah, I think Goosey right now has the cap advantage by about 40 tickets. I think both teams are worried about sending a single mech out to cap, but Goosey already sent someone to Kappa.
Yeah, is that... No, it's not their most damaged mech, but, they did send somebody. We'll see what happens. Zeos making a move. He's coming into the Theta area. He's trying to...
Under enemy control.
It's going to be a 1 versus 2. Hopefully he can get some help from Daragor before... Oh, no. Daragor got picked from the top position. This isn't over yet, though. Zeos just takes down Don Tion and his Vindicator.
He is lagged pretty badly right now.
All he has to do is... Yeah. Oh, wow.
That second mech coming out, he could just easily pick that leg that was getting shielded from Chrysalius. So, Goosey takes the first drop, very close.
Lots of really good damage from Gudron and from JGX, or from Omen as well. Gudron was just able to, exercise control of that center area in the map. Chrysalius and the other Uziels really racking up, high damage numbers. And Chrysalius getting a lot of those needed kills along with the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, something that I've noticed just from playing on this map is once you get a good hold on Theta, it's very painful to have to push into the other team if they're holding it well. And I think just exercising control of Theta really gave Goosey a positional advantage where they could just kind of sit on the point, and whenever one mech turned a corner, they could focus him. So I'll go ahead and swap the teams up.
Did you swap them already?
Yep, they're swapped, right. And gave them the 5-minute warning.
All right, well, we were waiting for them to ready up again. I'm going to bring up the map strat, and we'll talk a little bit about what happened there.
Yep.
All right, map strat is up. What happened initially... Let me go ahead and black these caps out if I can that weren't part of this. No, that ain't going to work. Let's see here. Anyways. Gudron spawned at the bottom. They were, where'd that circle come from? Oh, you covered up the cap. Okay. Both teams initially just kind of approached the center of Solaris City. Gudron favoring the bottom right. And most of the fight happened, I think it was the Echo 5 pass where... Omen was holding, or
it was like Delta Echo 5, Delta 5. It was like that building right there.
And then Gudron took the center, and they just continued to trade from Theta, basically. And just they held it almost the entire time.
Yeah, they were making very good use of the few buildings sprinkled around Theta. Really using those buildings to rotate out their armor anytime one of their mechs got damaged is to just hide it or put him in the back so he wouldn't get focused. And that's why we didn't see any mechs go down for the first 6-7 minutes of the game. because anytime any mech from Black Omen got down on health, they just rotated behind the building they're held, and then Goosey, they just put it behind the cover that they had available as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was just like a lot of armor cycling from both sides. I just really think that Omen really caught some like really bad strikes, and you know, maybe it might have had something to do with like where they were exactly, like on the building edges, where like maybe they got more damage or something, or it was more concentrated on their mechs. Because I saw some of those strikes hit, and it was like, you know, half the mech percentage was like going away. It was deadly.
Well, the downside of hiding behind a building like this is if you're right on the corner, you can actually place an airstrike on the building and no one sees it until it hits. Whereas a lot of the strikes going out on Goosey were arty strikes, so you saw the red smoke on Theta, so then they could kind of scurry away before it hit and then come back after.
Yeah, I wonder what Gudron is going to do now that both teams actually have used a majority of their Uziels, right? And
yeah,
so they're allowed 3 of the same chassis, right, for the entire round or match. So we're not going to see any more Uziels on this next iteration. What are we going to see? You know, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think Vindicators are a fairly strong choice for this map. They have amazing armor quirks. They can still boat 5 medium pulse lasers. They can kind of keep up with most of the other mechs that are being dropped. They're just an armor quirked Phoenix Hawk. A lot of nice arm mount, so if you want to use that verticality, you can shoot down or shoot up at your opponents. Unlike, say, Vulcans, where 4 of the medium pulse lasers are in the torso. In the case of Indicators, are in the arms. I liked the K9 choice for this because once again, just amazing armor quirks, and if you know you're going to be fighting at MPL range, the armor quirks really come into play. So I think we're going to see another K9 from each team.
Yeah, guaranteed. It's most likely going to happen that way. I wonder if instead of like a more direct strategy, one of these teams decides to, change it up a little bit and do something a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, one of the nice things about this tonnage is that one of the teams could also choose to do a defend the king strat. So drop 1 heavier assault mech and a bunch of lighter mechs because they are stuck at 270 tons. But what that means is that if you drop a mech worth 90 tons, you need to cut tonnage somewhere else. But the nice thing is that you could start putting ballistics like LBs on it, so you could drop like a Sleipnir with 4 LB10s. The thing is that the rest of the team really needs to defend the heavier mech because it is a big investment in tonnage.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see exactly what they decide to do. At this time, we're still waiting for Team 1 to finish readying up. Once that happens, Team 2 will ready. I wonder if we're going to see more dervishes. Might actually see some more dervishes from either of these teams. Because
we only saw
Omen
the one.
only dropped 1. They only dropped 1 dervish, so they still have 2 they can use. Gudron has 3 they can use. So, I mean, if it's going to be a medium pulse battle again, and it's going to be directed towards the center of the map, towards Theta, like, we're just going to see more medium pulse. So, I mean, that's going to be the remaining chassis. Like, I mean, obviously you got some Vulcans that they can still use, some Phoenix Hawks they can still use, but, probably just going to see the Irvin K9 like you saw, as you said. Right, Team 1 is locked. Team 2 is got 5 minutes.
So it seems that Goosey's now taking the same 2 lances as Black Omen did last game, so the right side of the map. So we might see another fight between Theta and Epsilon. Of course, I mean, these mechs are so fast that you could easily just go between Theta and Kappa instead with these spawns, and it doesn't take that much longer just because of the speed of these. Unlike last week where you're dropping assaults that went like maybe 40 kph, these mechs go 110 maybe 120. So you could really outmaneuver a bit.
True. So was it 3 kills to 6 kills for the last one, or was it 4 kills?
It was 4 to 6.
It was 4 to 6. All right.
So Goosey has used up all of their use heals, whereas Black Omen only used 2 out of 3. They also, and the third one was the Dervish that they chose to include.
Team 2 is locked. Let's get going on this next match on Solaire City. Just to get everybody caught up who's just joining the cast now, Gudron was able to take match 1 on Solaire City with a 6 kill to 4 kill differential between them and Black Omen. We're going into the second match now. Best of luck to both teams. We'll see what happens.
One thing that I noticed before launching is that Team 2's stacked up Alpha and Charlie Lance. So it's the 2 Lances that are the farthest away from one another on the left and the right side of their spawns, respective.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what they have in mind with that, because that can be interesting for taking Kappa and Epsilon, and just forgoing Theta.
All right, we have Omen dropping. They have Urban Mech K9, a Dervish 6MR, 2 Dervishes, a Phoenix Hawk 2, and they have another Phoenix Hawk and a Vulcan. What do you have for the other guys?
Almost a very similar deck again. So this time I'm seeing 3 Dervish 6MRs. I'm seeing an Urban Mech, but it's an R60, not the K9.
Yeah.
Then I'm also seeing a Vindicator and another Urban Mech K9. So 2 Urban Mechs, 3 Dervishes, and the Vindicator.
That Snowball, the R60, has 4 medium pulse lasers and 2 heavy machine guns. So in order for those machine guns to be like effective, he's gonna have to get a little bit closer than normal.
We have Zyos on Theta. He just got spotted by Goosey. UAV's up though as he runs away from the pushing team.
Strike went down on the backside here, and it really didn't hit anybody, which is too good for them. All right, looks like Gudron is taking the Theta cap again, sticking to their original strategy.
The difference this time, it's Black Omen took Epsilon right from the get-go, and also sent Zyos to take Theta just to get those extra few caps. So this is Black Omen's game, assuming that it stays 1 cap to 1 cap. It's up to Goosey to actually make a move to either push or send a mech to Kappa to get the cap advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we're seeing very similar positions to last game. Gogil just got a really nice shot on the Snowball. So we're seeing Black Omen flank around with 3 mechs.
That Snowball Urban Mech is very damaged at this point. We'll have to see if he makes it to the end. Oh, he just walked through a strike. That's not good.
Ooh. Yeah, that strike hit both Urban mechs pretty hard on Theta.
Omen is moving around the left side of their original position, so they're going to be coming in on Don Tition and the Dervish. Another strike just went out.
Oh, he is like a couple meters in front of that strike. But yeah, very nice crossfire set up by Black Omen. It's very hard for these mechs to take cover behind the closer buildings.
Yeah, it seems to me like whenever Omen extends to a certain side around Theta, like Gudron is doing really well about like, you know, pulling back to the, you know, keep the MPLs at the max range for them. You know? Yeah. That's what I'm seeing at least. Ticket differentials about 30 points right now, with 6 minutes left in the match. And oh my God, did you see that strike?
Ooh.
Omen has a 2-kill advantage now. They're no breaks. They're gonna finish it out. They're closing in. Really good power position. Everybody's just doing their thing with MPLs.
Yeah. Again, with the armor rotation, you see Darger took a bit more damage than the rest of his team, so he just rotated right back out to the back of the team so he wouldn't get picked off. Zaya is trying to stay alive. He's at 36% after that. He's lagged with an open torso. So just really trying to prolong how long he can stay in this game. But a very strong showing from Black Omen on this drop. They got that early kill and they just really took advantage of it. I think Strikes also had a nice strong role in this because I saw one strike hit both Urban Max and their health just plummeted that time.
Yeah. Major damage differential compared to last match. Gudron was unable to put up the original numbers that they did previously, and it really swapped over to Omen's favor with the damage spread. But they lasted longer than most teams would have against this opponent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Omen has won one match, and Gudron has won one match on Slayer City. We're going over to Canyon Network, I believe.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and swap the teams, get them set up. How many kills did Gudron get?
Ooh. Let me
look.
It's either... I don't think they got a kill. It's either one or none. I was looking at Darger and Zayaz that game because they were the most damaged max.
All right, I'm pretty sure it's just one, if I remember correctly. All right, we're going to head back over to the map strat. Essentially, the same things happened, as far as I'm aware. No real change other than the mechs.
Yeah, I think watching it play out, the difference was that Black Omen didn't keep trading that one passageway this time that they set up on last time. They sent 4 mechs to rotate to the next one, so that they had 2 angles in on Theta. And that really took away a lot of the cover from those buildings in the middle. So Goosey pushed into Theta from the north, and then you had Black Omen. They started trading this first gate, but then when that didn't really work, they moved to the next one, and then they would have 2 fields of fire focused in on Theta. So then all of those buildings, I'll draw those in yellow. So you have like one building here, then one building there that Gudron Synergy really used last game to hide damage mechs and just spread their mechs out. Those buildings didn't offer any cover from the mech shooting from the sides. I think that made a big difference.
Yeah, what Omen did compared to the first match is they expanded out on the sides of the center Slayers, basically opening up their trade lines and forcing Gudron to kind of fall back into basically a cluster, right? And then the strikes that came in were really key on doing major damage to that cluster of mechs. And once they had that 2-kill lead, they just continued to steamroll. They just went for it. And that was history. Let's go ahead and bring up Canyon Network and see what that looks like.
Yeah, I think last game when that first kill was when they got that first kill, the next kill was Goose on Synergy kill. So they were always even on kills, but this game they got 2 kills right after the other, and that really made the difference, because then it's 4 versus 6, and at that point Black Omen just pushed.
All right, this one is Kappa Theta Epsilon for the 3-cap. You're going to see a lot of mechs that are either going to be gliding through trenches, or you're going to see a lot of jump jets on this map. Tonnage is 350. Strikes and lock-ons are allowed. So we will see what happens. From your initial experience and my own, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I think you can still make medium pulse lasers work on this map. Just get again, armored quirked mechs and just push. We saw that yesterday in the KDCM versus JGX game. Both sides actually elected on different games to bring 6 medium pulses on a grasshopper, and they just push into the other team. Seeing with lock-ons, we could also see a holding strat with a Lerm boat of some sort, like a catapult. And then you could even have narkers included to really give those locks that a catapult would need. Or we could just see a UX, so have a nice firing line of ballistic mechs. They do have the tonnage for this.
Yeah.
And then just have a small wolf pack of 2 to 3 mechs roaming around trying to get at the sides.
So, I mean, like, Team 2 has the option of, like, I mean, it's basically either going to be like a fight around Theta, or it's going to be ridge control, right?
Yeah.
So Team 2 can really control this ridge here, like right off the bat, and then Team 1 has this ridge here that they can use to their advantage. Opposed to, ridge holding, there is the option for Team 1 to do like a wide flank. They can go through straight up towards Theta Cap and just fight around the edges. And same thing for Team 2 as well. So if they don't have a split with their mechs as far as like range or brawl, you're basically going to see a fight around Theta if it's like medium pulse again.
So Team 1 locked up, but it looks like one of their players disconnected, so technical problem there.
Roger that.
We
will play it by ear, see what happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes in this map that you really don't want to get your team stuck in. So this map has a lot of elevation, and you can really take advantage of that if you have the right mechs. So jump jets are nice to have, but not strictly necessary. Most of the hills do have paths that you can walk up one way or another. But it really does limit your mobility if you don't have jump jets. So Don just reconnected, so I'll give the 5 minutes to Team 2.
Copy that.
I'm curious to see what we're gonna see on this drop. I think I really do like the heavy drops compared to the light and the assaults, just because you have so much variety of what you can see. The higher tonnage drop, you're kind of always going to see either 3 assaults and 3 lights, or a bunch of like 75 to 80 ton mechs that are all like fairly fast, like 75 kph.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to see any Victors, maybe Thanatoses. You know, I wonder even if we're going to like see like a grasshopper or something random for this map.
Yeah, for this drop, I mean, you could see anything, which is really nice. Even at 350 tons, you do still have the leeway to play around with mechs a lot. So you could see annihilators, but you could also just see a bunch of 60-ton mechs.
Now, just to get everybody caught up on what's happening, if you're just joining the cast now, we have Gudron Synergy with 1 drop and Black Omen with 1 drop. So they are tied 1-1. We're going into Canyon Network right now, which is going to be a series of 2 fights. Let's look here. Gudron is going to be Team 1 and Omen is Team 2. Just waiting for Team 2 to lock, and we'll get right into the next match.
Looks like they're just about to lock. Last couple seconds.
All right. Yeah, this is round 5 of ISC. There's only 1 round left for the entire tournament, I believe. So,
yep.
Team 2 just locked. Let's go ahead and get them in a match. Right. Looks like we have Omen. They have a Cataphract, Quick Draw, 2 Quick Draws, and a Crab 27. They also have another Crab 27 and another Quick Draw. So 3 Quick Draws, 6 Medium Pulse, and a Rocket Launcher 15. It's almost like a KDCM build with that Rocket Launcher. All right. What do you have for... yeah.
Ooh, I'm seeing a Victor. So I'm seeing a Trebuchet 7M. I believe that's the LRM quirked Trebuchet. Yeah, 2 LRM 15s and a tag. Then I'm seeing a Victor, 1 UAC 5, 2 UAC 10s for some DACA, an Annihilator with 6 AC2s and a PPC, and then I'm seeing a Wolfhound, a Phoenix Hawk, and a Vulcan.
Speaking of the Wolfhound and the Phoenix Hawk, they're making a mad dash for Theta and trying to lock down that cap. They also have Kappa. Looks like they might get Theta as well. Omen is moving towards Epsilon. They're probably going to have to take that cap soon. And then we'll see where they choose to fight. I like the spread that Gudron has going on right now.
Interesting build on the Muramets. It's 2 Gauss rifles and 2 ER large. So Dada's really using those ER large to try to deny Theta for as long as he could. And the Victor just went down.
Yep, I was just going to say that Victor needs to run because this push is coming along the right side of the map, and it is not slowing down at all. Omen is just going to take as many mechs as they can in this in the first couple of minutes.
Ooh, really well placed strike though. Krasnopesky and Darger just run right through that strike.
Yeah,
took 20% damage.
40% left. Annihilator goes down. Go takes the kill on that with his quick draw. More strikes coming down in that location. I think the Lerm Treb is trying to hit Krasnopesky, and or he was. Now he's focusing the quick draw 5K.
Yeah, Krasnopesky's health 30%, but 1 hit to that right torso, and he's going down.
Data is just now getting into the fight, and he has all these mechs in the trench, just annihilating them. Lizzie takes Krasno out.
So, Lerm Trebuchet from the back, getting really good damage throughout this push, but not really sharing any of the armor being so far back.
Zeos kills somebody.
Trebuchet is finally getting pushed. But there's a minimum range on Lerms, so now he's locking onto Data and trying to get the Muramets down with them.
Gudron with one mech left in the fight, and it goes down. Data kills it with his cataphract.
Very, very strong push down the Epsilon side from Black Omen.
Yeah, they used that the edge of the hill, right? And they basically looked at the positions that Gudron had initially set, and it just made sense to like push that ridge because they were able to catch a couple of their mechs right out, and then Gudron had to respond, so they ran across the map, and the cataphract for Omen was still like lagging behind, which actually kind of worked to the benefit of Omen and for cleaning up the mechs that were left.
Yeah, that Victor got shot from the back, so looking at his armor, he's still at 91% health because his armor was completely untouched, minus the armor covering his back, center, torso. So those 3 crabs just lit him up in a very coordinated fashion and didn't give him any time to react.
So that puts Omen at 2 drops 1 and Gudron with 1 drop 1. We still have 2 matches left in the series.
Yeah.
So it can go either way. I wonder what Gudron's going to run for this next iteration on Canyon Network. Wonder if they're going to swap everything. They're supposed to be able to get all 5 caps with everything dead. But
Yeah, they can.
Enemy forces have Sigma.
There we go. Let's see the team stats on this.
Gudron took 6 or lost 6 of their mechs, and Omen only lost 1. The damage for Omen was pretty evenly spread. There's the quick draw 5K by Dargor A7X, who was the outstanding performer in that fight. For Gudron, you had the Trebuchet 7M, the Lerm Trebuchet had 424, and then the Annihilator 2A with the AC2s and the RPPC had 538.
That Victor, 33 damage, just showing you how early in the fight he got picked off. Again, it's such a big investment in tonnage that getting that mech of all mechs on the field as the early pick-off really makes a big difference. Because you're 1 mech down, but you're 80, you're a quarter of your tonnage down after 1 mech.
While Lionel is getting these guys ready in the lobby, I'm going to go back over to the MWO Tactics Planner so we can look at some of the possible strategies for Canyon Network. All right. Yep, Canyon Network. The first match that we saw, you had Black Omen basically take this path towards Epsilon using this ridge, and they had Gudron had kind of like sprinkled their mechs out in several different locations. The Phoenix Hawk and the Wolfhound up behind Theta. You had the Annihilator and Victor in these positions, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And there was something else, but I mean, regardless, Theta and Kappa were taken by Gudron early, right? They had these caps. And then as soon as Omen took Epsilon, they proceeded to just press the ridge. And their first kill was the Victor, and then I forget what happened after that.
I don't even think they took Epsilon during that push.
I thought they did, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's already
Yeah,
over.
it is such a quick push, high speed, so it really took away from the reaction time of Like that Annihilator, it's a split-second decision. Do I drop Theta side of this ridge, or do I drop into Echo 5? And it's such a fast decision that he's forced to make because they're running at him at 90 kph, if not a bit more. Yeah, a very violent push going all the way down the right side of the map. But
yeah, it was extremely violent, But my favorite thing that I noticed towards the end, though, is like Gudron kind of got forced into the trench on the right side of Theta, and Black Omen was able to have that cataphract just kind of lagging behind that was able to just like catch all these shots as Gudron was trying to escape the trench. That's where they lost a couple more mechs after the Victor and the Annihilator went down. Some really good strikes, though. Like, Krasnopesky was down to like 35%, along with I think somebody else was pretty low. But regardless, Lizzie was able to get a shot on Krasno and get rid of him. I feel like the Trebuchet wasn't the best pick for this map. Because you have had the game gone on longer, and there was no like concerted push from the enemy, Gudron probably could have pulled it off.
Yeah, I think Gudron joined this game thinking, oh, it's going to be we're going to do a hold strat. So, take Theta early, take one of the side caps early, which they did very well. They sent 2 mechs on Theta, so that the first guy that presented got shot by the cataphract, but then during that the weapon cooldown, the second mech actually capped Theta, and that's how they got it so early. So the early game, hands down, like, is very well executed. But what they failed to do was to scout that big push coming down in Charlie 5 Delta 5. And had they scouted that, I'm curious, like, how would the game have progressed? Like, if they scouted that, a minute out of the dropships before they got the Victor, because the Victor might have been able to drop down and rejoin the team in Delta 4. Delta 3.
I mean, when I saw the push coming, that's what I initially expected the Victor to do was run, but for some reason, like, he just didn't seem to like see it coming, or thought that maybe he could hold that Delta 5 rock efficiently enough that they wouldn't like see him, maybe push by him, but. Yeah, he got caught, and he got caught quick, and when that happens in a comp match, like, you stand to lose the rest of the team when somebody just gets, deleted initially without having any. I mean, that's why I'm like really opposed to, if you're gonna spread your mechs out, putting your heaviest mechs on the fronts of positions where they don't have any way to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think things would have gone a lot better for Gudron had they held Radio Tower in Delta 3, or maybe even, the backside of Echo 4.
Yeah.
Or just pushed up to Delta 4 with all of their mechs and then just kind of... But, I mean, Black Omen would have done really well on the Theta pokes from the opposite side, so
yeah.
That's a very difficult position to trade from, in my experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seeing the post-game board, though, that Victor did get 33 damage, so he did shoot at something. And that's probably, Black Omen definitely communicated there's a Victor behind this rock. And that was probably just their primary target when they started that push down the right side. And they popped UAV right as they rounded that rock, so they knew he was there and they knew where he was facing, too. So, very well played, very, very nice push to watch. Also, all the crabs were if I'm not mistaken, the Crab 27 SL, that's the one with the 6 medium pulse and jump jets. So, well picked for the map.
All right, we're just waiting for Team 2 to lock up. While we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the challenge sheet again and kind of look at where people are on the tournament bracket. So round 5, we have GNX versus CSPS happening today. Merc, at least for this weekend, you got Merc versus Clan Xenoferret coming up. You got Levels Gang of Team versus Sky Rangers Terra. You've got Fractionite 37 versus Pi. You have Toddlers in a Mosh Pit versus the Critical Damage Unit. 228 versus the Wild One, or 228 the Wild Ones versus Den of Wolves. Strike Wing versus 2D220. 228's Irwin's Irregulars versus the Comrade Collective. Oh no, that already happened.
Yeah, that one already happened. The
Nuclear
Comrade
Fallout
Collective
versus
won.
Templars, and you are watching currently Black Omen versus Gudron Synergy. Games that have happened. First Jaguar Guards fought KDCM yesterday, taking 4 drops to 1. KDCM still getting 1 drop against one of the toughest teams in ISC to date. 228 and the Comrade Collective fought. Comrade Collective took 3 drops out of the 5, and 228 only took 2. Bear Brawlers took 1 against Highlander Dragoons. Highlander Dragoons taking 4. LODD and Aces Wild fought. Aces Wild took 4 drops off of LODD, and LODD took 1. What are your thoughts on where these teams are going to end up in round 6 following this weekend, if things play out according to your estimations?
I'm thinking that the follow-up game, KDCM, seeing how KDCM lost their drop, they're probably going to play whoever loses this game, and the winner of this game is going to get a rematch versus JGX, the other JGX team.
Team
So
2
I
just
think-
locked. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We are going to launch the game, and let's get to it.
Yeah, I think as the tournament progresses, a lot of the games are starting to be the clutch KDCM Jaguar Guards. You know, that's always going to be a fun game to watch. A lot of the original seeding is getting a lot closer as this tournament progresses because of how it's bracketed. So they're using a Swiss bracket. So they simulated the first round, and then the next 6 are the ones that are being played.
All right, for Gudron Synergy, we have a Vulcan 5T, 2 Vulcans. Let's see here. They got a Mauler MX-90, a Stalker 5S, a Dragon 5N, and a Wolfhound 2R. What do you have for the other guys over there? For Black Omen.
I'm seeing
Man coming in.
a Catapult, a Crab, 3 Wolverines, and a Grasshopper.
Get in your way.
What's on the Jester? That's the Jester, right? Yeah.
Yes.
6 medium pulse.
6 medium pulse, 3 large pulse, 3 Armides on the Grasshopper. So it looks like they're going to do another push around the flanks of the map.
Yep. All right. Gudron is dropping a UAV, but they're not taking the cap. I wonder if the Mauler has spotted them. Yes, he has. He's exchanging with them right now. So Gudron knows their position, knows which way they're going to be pushing from. We're just going to have to see how it plays out.
Interesting build on the Wolverines. It's 3 SRMs and 2 Flamers on each. So very close range builds. They will need to close the distance with Gudron fairly soon.
Just to get everybody caught up really quick, Gudron is 1 win, and Omen has 2, and this is the 4th battle. Omen is pushing past Epsilon. This Wolfhound is getting some
Oh, I
nice
don't
back
think they
shots.
saw him.
But the Grasshopper's coming up behind him. See what happens. They want that Mauler gone, and they're pushing there right now. Flamer's on the Mauler. He's going to be cooking.
There goes the Mauler and the Wolfhound. The Grasshopper that came up to the Wolfhound just took him out.
Stalker being focused right now. Golio and Krasnopesky taking lots of shots on it, along with Mr. Samaru and Data.
That Stalker build's very hot when you get flamers on it. ER large lasers.
Daddy Cool and his Vulcan is running for the hills. He makes the jump over to the top of the ridge, and he's just trying to stay alive. Lizzie has this crab all by himself. He needs to get rid of it quickly if he wants to help the rest of his team.
Well, he's a dragon, and he lost his weapon arm.
Oh,
so
well,
he's not taking that crab out anytime soon.
He needs to go cap then. Data kills the Vulcan. Zeos kills the Vulcan. Poor Lizzie. No weapons. He's on his own. Oh. That's the risk you run when you take that dragon. Everybody knows. Everybody knows, especially the comp players, that the weapons on the 5N are in the arms. So, well, one arm specifically, usually, right? So
yeah.
You literally have to be very good at hiding that arm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they just realized, hey, there's a dragon. We could either spend time killing it or just take the arm and then keep going to whatever else is shooting at us and then come back for the dragon after. And that's what they chose to do.
Yeah.
Both teams, completely ignoring the cap game once they, Black Omen choosing to do the push around the side of the map, and Goosey scouted it this time. So they decided not to send a mech to Theta, I think.
Now that's going to do it for Canyon Network. Omen's going to take both wins on both drops on Canyon against Gudron Synergy. So that puts the total score on drops is Omen 3 and Gudron 1. Some damage numbers for everybody. The 3 Wolverines that were dropped did really well. 500 being one of the highest damage outputs from one of them. For Gudron Synergy, the Mauler could have gotten a little bit more use, but it just got pushed so quickly. A lot of good damage from the Jester as well, so that was a good drop for Omen. What else do you see here?
Well, that Stalker, I kind of feel bad for it. Just, such hot weaponry and the flamers added onto it makes it very hard to get any amount of damage.
Absolutely.
If they're doing a hold strat, that is a really nice build to bring. But if you're getting pushed, it's already a hot weapon. Add the Wolverines with the flamers, and you're not going to get a lot of damage out of that. The Wolfhound did manage to get 194, and I think a lot of that was against the backs of mid push.
Yes. All right, swap these guys on the sides. I'll bring up the map strat. We'll start talking about what we just saw. So, a little bit different from the previous Canyon Network match, but we still saw Omen favoring that Epsilon side of the map. Gudron was kind of set up with the Mauler and the Bravo 5 pocket. They had the Wolfhound over here by Epsilon hiding behind this rock, using it as a way to poke and kind of hit them as they walk by. He did pretty good. He was able to just fight a grasshopper on his own. Unfortunately, the rest of the team just left him, so we didn't get to watch that. The Jester, I don't know at what point, but he made a cut across and got in behind Gudron. Do you remember where he cut from?
No, I don't. I think he cut because there's also a Vulcan, a Gudron Vulcan that was stationed there. So the Grasshopper or the Jester went to chase him, and then just kind of found himself chasing a faster mech. So then he joined the main team again. One thing that I do notice is that dragon also got 320 damage. So that was before the arm got shot off.
I mean, that's a good amount of damage for a mech as risky as that to field.
Yeah, is once again, a very well executed push. Really taking advantage of all the cover that presents itself on this map. They only had to cross the last 500 meters in the open.
What Gudrun could have done had they seen the push coming a little bit earlier is kind of segmented or pushed into the side of Black Omen, and kind of cut their push in half, But that would have involved, a lot of faster mechs, and that Mauler wasn't going anywhere. So we are gonna look at Frozen City Night Classic. This is going to be the 3 cap is going to be Kappa, Epsilon, and Theta, I think. So it's going to be happening pretty much towards the center of the map. This is the last match between Gudrun and Omen for today. Omen has 3 drops, and Gudrun has 1, I believe.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Gudrun can take another one. Saw some witty or some interesting plays from KDCM yesterday on this map. We'll see what Gudrun decides to do.
Yeah, definitely. I think this map, there's more than enough cover in the buildings that you can get a push going if that's what you choose to do. And as long as you stay away from that center area that's fairly open, you can close to a very short distance without really taking all that much fire. Or rather, the team will get fired, but it's hard to focus a single mech throughout the push. So I think the first consideration is which team will send a mech to Theta, because even though this map isn't the biggest one, the distance between both spawn zones is short enough that sending a mech to Theta generally means that it won't be there during a fight, short of it being a very fast Locust or a Fleet. I think there were a couple of games last week when it was the heavy drop that something like that happened, where one team was down 3 mechs or 2 mechs because they chose to send a strong presence to Theta.
Yeah, what I've noticed with this map is Team 1 really has the option of just basically stepping up near Kappa and taking just a defensive position, right? So they just hold that Bravo 3 line as soon as they get up. They can also hold back here. They can move up towards dropship, hold there. It's really, in my eyes, up to Team 2 to be the aggressors, because they have to either do that wide flank, or they have to go in blind, which is never a good thing when you push over the top of dropship, if you decide to commit to it. What is really good for Team 2, though, is if you take a Phoenix Hawk, for example, or something of that nature, you can get into Charlie 4 and you can get good sight lines on what's in the buildings or where Team 1 is choosing to set up. Team 2, they're basically given Epsilon, right? Just like Team 1's given Kappa. But in my opinion, Team 2 has the better option of getting Theta because they can cover it, Yeah.
The ice fields is really nice if you take any amount of range builds. I think one of the nice things about all the different tournaments, it's, Trials of Combat, that was a 5v5 with 1 cap. And on this map, it was Theta, so that ice field was very important because you could send however many mechs you wanted into the ice field and just cover Theta. But in a 3 cap competition like this, you can't just cover 1 cap. You need to have some form of coverage for either Kappa or Epsilon. So I think that's why we don't really see all that many teams putting stuff in the ice fields for this. Even though it's, it is a very good position.
Absolutely.
I think this one, this is a drop where we could either see very unbalanced tonnage distributions, so 3 Annihilators or 2 Annihilators, a Cyclops, and 3 Fleas, or something like that.
earlier on in ISC, like this map made a lot more sense with the like mid tonnage.
Yeah.
When it's extremely heavy, like it is, and it's going to be for these two teams, you're going to see a lot of different configurations, a lot of different like assault IS mechs that are going to be new or very specific to their purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think if you're at a lower tonnage, you can get a bunch of roughnecks, or you could get like still an even distribution of tonnage, but they're all fairly quick. But for this tonnage, you're stuck with like Victors, Black Knights. You can still get them going fairly fast, like Chargers. You can get them going up to like 70, 80 kilometers an hour. But you're not going to see any extremely fast pushes unless they drop under tonnage.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're still waiting for Team 2 to ready up. In the meantime, just gonna let everybody know that ISC is sponsored by Aces Wild, and there is literally 1 week left after this weekend. So catch all the matches you can. If you're going to be watching more ISC, there's more games happening today, and I think there might even be a couple games tomorrow. With that being said, second to last week, and we'll see who takes the tournament in the Swiss system next weekend. Just tonnage to 430, please.
Is it 430? No, it's 420.
Oh,
isn't it 430?
They're asking for 430. Yeah, go ahead and bump it up. There you go. Lionel. I'm messing with you, man. You're good.
I could have sworn it was 420.
Well, that begs the question: did Team 1 need that extra 10 tons, or did they not?
Well, Kraz seems to know that it's 430, so I think that they are dropping under tonnage.
Okay. I don't really think that anything's going to really come down to caps on Frozen City night. It's all going to be about whatever team decides to push in first, and then which team is able to withstand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think that this map just isn't big enough for either team to start a PPC war. Because as interesting as that is, or as much as I personally like PPCs, this map is such a liability because it's so short. You need something to stop a push.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, both of these teams, Omen and Gudron, haven't really used any blackjacks yet, and I mean they could use a heavy PPC kit on 3 blackjacks and do something really weird, right? There's a possibility of going up to A2 or A3 and just pop tarting on the ridge and then pulling the enemy into 2 really burly assaults. So I mean, there's options there. I mean, they probably wouldn't use enough tonnage, but you are allowed to drop under the tonnage. I mean, we're about to see Team 1 do that. Team 2 is locked, so let's go ahead and swap over to the match cam. All right, with that being said, the scores are messed up. There's still TOC scores for the stream, so I apologize for that. I had literally had 30 minutes to prepare. I need to let you guys know that Omen has 3 wins, Gudron has 1, and this is the final match for the round, or final round between the match between Omen and Gudron Synergy. Right. For Gudron, we have an Annihilator 2A, a Corsair 7A, Quickdraw Ivy 4, Grasshopper 5J, Wolfhound 2, and another Grasshopper 5J. One of those Grasshoppers got the medium pulse. They do. What do you got for Black Omen?
I'm seeing 3 Annihilators. So 3 UAC 5s, 2 UAC 10s on 2 of them, and then 3 AC 10s, 2 AC 5s on the third.
Understood.
2 Assassin 101s, and 1 Vulcan 5T. So we're seeing Upgun Dannies. That's definitely more weaponry than you normally see on them outside of Solaris. But for this format game, you know, having the extra firepower really can give you an early advantage if you take a good trade.
Gudron Synergy is stepping in. They're taking the Theta cap. I don't know why nobody took Epsilon. It's Epsilon, Kappa, and Theta. They could take Epsilon. Maybe they're trying to hide those 2 mechs. Could be a possibility. I mean, if there's any map today where you can kind of stretch out like the cap game a little bit, this would be the one. But with that being said, you got to hold like very aggressive lines. You can't let any mechs really grab a flank or any kind of advantage position. What I do like seeing right now is the fact that Gudron is taking a range hold strat. So they've taken 1 cap. I don't know why they didn't take the second one, but it's not really necessary at this point. But what is necessary is the fact that they keep Omen pinned behind that hill and slowly aggress up if they're choosing to win the trade.
So Zayaz just got hit quite a few times in the Vulcan from the Grasshopper, and I think he also got a hit from the PPC. So very good fields of fire on those 2 assaults in the back from Gudron Synergy. We're seeing Black Omen move up, UAVs up. So looks like they're hitting the left side of the Gudron line, really pounding into the Wolfhound and the Grasshopper.
Yeah, Omen is pushing up across the map right now. They're making their move. They're focusing the Quickdraw IV4, trying to catch it. Quickdraw IV4 is doing a really good job of like kiting and getting away from that push. St. Oz and the Grasshopper 5J has taken quite a bit of damage, but they're moving towards the Epsilon cap as a way to hold and survive.
Yeah. Yeah, the Black Omen Annihilator is now engaging the Gudron Synergy Annihilator. They're fairly packed up in a tight ball for this push. So they can really decide which target they want to focus, and all of them should have the same lines of sight towards them to a certain extent.
Data just kills one of the Grasshoppers. The Annihilator 2A from Don Theon is going to be next, possibly. We got 2 kills for Omen right there, back to back.
Yeah. We're seeing the Omen Annihilators engage with a faster mech, the Grasshopper that circled around behind them, while their Wolfpack does the same thing to the Gudron.
Omen
assault.
is just using mobility to basically win this fight. They're so much faster with a lot of their builds that, you know, at this point they don't even really need the Annihilators. Kraz goes down. He got legged and was killed by the Quickdraw IV4. That Quickdraw is not going to last much longer though. He is pinned and he is at 17%. Golgiel takes the kill. Backshot to the Quickdraw IV4 with the SRM2s. Data and Boss are just walking across the map. Gudron is dead. They don't have any mechs left, but they did take 1 kill off of Omen, and that is probably going to be it for today if Gudron, well, it's over. I'm sorry.
But still 4-1 against this team. That's still a very good showing. Only one other team so far has managed to beat Black Omen, and that was the other JGX team.
Yes.
So
We have gained Epsilon.
even 4-1, I mean, I would personally take that if I was playing these guys, because that still means they did win that first match, and that first match was extremely close. But
Yeah, I mean, from what I've
They
seen
were-
today, like Gudron was very organized. They all did very well with the trades that they had available to them, and nobody was really going out of their way to put the team in danger. They worked together. They
Gathered enough
but I mean,
resources.
at the
This
end of the
triumph
day,
will
there's just like
provide
a
us
huge
tactical benefit.
difference in experience between these two teams.
yeah,
All right, we got the final kill spread for you. Gudron taking 1 kill off of Black Omen. That kill goes to the red goes Fasta in the quick shot IV4. He had 1 kill, 392 damage. And then for Black Omen, the kill spread was fairly spread. There was nobody that really took all the kills or anything like that. Damage was fairly even.
yeah.
Do you have the MWO comp Discord?
Yeah.
Jump over in one of the channels. I'll drag you down to casting 2. We'll see if these guys want to do an interview or anything like that.
Sure.
Okay. Well, ask them if they want an interview. If they want one, they can come by. If not, we can end the cast with Gudron having 1 drop 1 and Black Omen with 4. In week 5 of ISC, brought to you by Aces Wild. All right. Let's just do a real quick recap on the map strat of what we saw, and then we're going to go ahead and end the cast for today and open up MWO leagues to another caster if there's more games to cast.
Yeah.
All right. So, go ahead and just tell us what happened, Lionel.
Well, the Gushan Synergy started moving around the edge of the map. They took Theta, and then they just left their assaults in Charlie 4, Jolly 5 right on this ridge, right here. Meanwhile, Black Omen came down through the buildings with their annihilators and started hiding behind a hill, waiting for the ball to get going, waiting for an opening in the firing line. And then once they found that they had some trigger, whether it's a mech being close enough to them that they could attempt to gank, or just an opening through a strike where one of the ranged Overwatch mechs had to back off, they pushed right around through the buildings into the lighter mechs. By that time, the Gudron Synergy mechs, they were still at the back, just pounding in on whatever they could find. While all their light mechs kind of fell back towards their weight.
Yeah, there was a major separation, when the
Yeah.
mediums for Black Omen pushed over the Charlie 4 ridge and then just started taking out whatever mechs they could get that were slower or lagging behind. That's back to what Gudron should have done to Omen when they were on Canyon Network. Basically dissecting a push or pushing into the middle of a flank, and that's basically what we saw here. Was just like a separation of speed and firepower for Black Omen, where they focused on slower targets with faster mechs.
Yeah. Also, when the lighter mechs for Gudron Synergy fell back, they fell back closer towards Theta, but their assaults were still kind of on that ridge right there. So they had 1 clump on Epsilon, 1 clump in Charlie 5. So that's when the fast mechs from Black Omen really took advantage of that and went straight for their weight.
Yeah. Well, that was a great match to watch, and I mean all the matches were really awesome. That was a good it was fun to cast that, and I hope everybody had fun watching it. There's going to be more matches today. Just keep an eye on the MW Leagues 1, 2, and 3, and we'll see what happens.
There's a game on. There's game on right now, 228 versus Star Wolves group, Den of Wolves.
I'm going to go check that out. Well, thank you all for watching. This has been